Hi Sonakshi, hi Ranveer, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Okay, firstly, your chemistry on screen is looking awesome. I must tell you, it's really great. Does it also happen because you guys are so different in real life as people?
Probably, but
Yeah.
I think all credit goes to our director, Vikramaditya, who's written two such beautiful characters for us. And I think just playing them was so much, we got to learn so much, we got to be something totally different. And I think that's the beauty of it, and that's what's turned magically on screen into something very beautiful.
Ranveer.
I think that's what makes it an exciting watch. The chemistry between these two characters, between these two actors who, you know, for all practical purposes, hail from completely different schools of and approaches of acting into acting. So it makes for a really interesting watch.
You're the most spontaneous kinds, and are you the more, like, method actor, Ranveer?
Well, I think method is a really abused term. I don't think, you know,
But whatever he does works.
It's very loosely thrown around. I used to, yes, have a process and prepare a lot, but after having worked with Sonakshi, I think I've seen that her approach is brilliant. Actually, because it's also easier. You also enjoy it more rather than stress about it, and it also leaves room for very organic and spontaneous things to happen. You know, if you prepare and you plan and plot too much, at some point it's going to get rehearsed and mechanical. And what is acting in cinema? It's the capturing of organic moments. So she leaves so much room for whatever has to happen happens in that moment, and that moment that we're talking about is when the camera is rolling, like she said. So it really is a brilliant and it's a naturalist approach, I think, for lack of a better word. But yeah, I definitely took a leaf out of her book, and I've become much more at ease with what I do now.
But isn't there a moment or a particular scene where you're like nervous about it? I know you're spontaneous and you react when the camera rolls, but you know, has there ever been a moment
The
like
only
that?
thing that I get nervous about is crying on camera, because I can't cry when there's obviously a unit present over there. I can't cry in front of so many people. It's really, I don't know.
Of course, it's very taxing. It's very taxing. You're at your most naked, you know, emotionally.
And me personally, I'm generally a very happy person. So like, you know, to just cry. It doesn't happen. So that is difficult for me.
You know, you were saying in some interviews about how Vikramaditya, director, actually broke you for this role.
It is something that I knew at the very outset when I signed on, that it was going to be something really different. It's going to require me to break everything that I know and try and explore a different side to myself. I always knew that. But when I actually got down to doing it, I was finding it very difficult and I wasn't grasping it initially. It was actually during workshops when things actually came to a head. And I was like, man, I can't do this. You know, I just can't.
Yeah, we heard on day 4 you wanted to quit. Is that true?
I think I one of those Neel Kamal ka plastic chairs. I think I picked it up, putcoed it in the workshop in the hall, and he sat me down and he said something that will resonate with me for the rest of my life. It kind of was a turning point for me as a performer and as a person. He said, you know, you think that you owe it to the world to always make people smile and entertain them and infect them with your energy. You don't. So let go of what has really become a habit for you and try and explore this side of you that I know you have, that I can see that you're fearful of showing to people.
We're hearing about how you become allergic to the term Lucky Mascot. Tell us why.
I'm not allergic to it. It's just it is loosely thrown. I'm
You be Lucky Mascot. Lucky Mascot bani rahe.
One more time.
Mere liye, just one more time. Sir.
I'm not allergic to it. It's just, I think it's about time people spoke of, I mean, they don't, the work as well, and it's not like they haven't. So I think if they only spoke about me being lucky and not having talent, then I'd be allergic to it, but it's fine.
Your career has been so interesting so far. Both of you have seen success very early with the first films. So what happens then? You know, you take it for granted. So Sonakshi, you've seen success over and over again. So is it easy? Is it tougher? Do you like take it, you know, things for granted, saying, "Chalo, abhi to ye bhi hit hone wali hai."
Does it look like we take it for granted? No, I respect my work a lot. I respect the fact that I've been very fortunate when it comes to being a part of the films that I chose, and I work that much harder when things go well for me, because I know getting there is fine, but maintaining that is even tougher. So you have to keep working hard.
Ranveer?
I think it's the old adage, you chase excellence and success will follow. No, you cannot take it for granted. In fact, the more time you spend as a professional, the more the time that elapses from the time you start out, the more you realize how lucky you are to be doing what you love doing. Not many people get that opportunity, so you have to respect it and give it everything.
Sonakshi even said that you can't imagine anyone else doing this role but you.
Yeah, I couldn't. When it was narrated to me, I really couldn't. Usually when somebody narrates a script, you can imagine somebody else playing that role as well. But as soon as he finished, I believed that this role was written for me, and I just wanted to do it. There were no two ways about it.
You work with a lot of senior actors also, Sonakshi, like Akshay and Salman. How different is it working with the younger lot? Because they're similar age, so is it like you can relate to them more? And also the senior guys come with a certain superstardom, so
yeah, but when most of them don't really flaunt it. They are very easy to work with, and I think you don't really get along with your co-stars because of their ages, right? I mean, you have a very nice
connect
you have a connect, and you have a professional working rapport with everyone. You form that certain rapport with everyone, and each one of them is different.
Ranveer, do you believe in old world romance?
Of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There is no other form of romance. Romance is not romance if it's not pure. It's romance by its very fundament. Definitive quality of it is purity. So yeah, the kind of love, the kind of way in which love has been dealt with in this story is the kind of love that's kind of become rare, with the evolution of our society, the way things have become.
So, Sonakshi, what about you? Do you believe in old world romance?
Yeah, I do, because I see it every day in the form of my parents. They're so old school, and it's really nice to just see them stick together after all these 32 years, and which is amazing. And that's something I believe in. That's something that I've been brought up in. And I absolutely.
The concept of, like you were just saying, Ranveer, the concept has changed so much, but the way couples date, on SMS you propose, on SMS you break up. Would you ever do something like that?
No, I would never break up on an SMS. That is rude. I think you owe it to anybody that you've shared anything with to at least, not at least with one SMS. That's really debasing. But yeah, I wouldn't do it through an SMS. Neither would I do it through phone call. I think if it has to be done, it has to be done in person.
Are you possessive, Ranveer, in love?
Sometimes, yeah.
To what extent would you go?
I'm not like psycho-possessive, but I'm rationally possessive.
What's the sweetest thing you've done for a woman? The most romantic thing?
I think the smallest things are the sweetest things. Where you don't have to travel across the length of the earth and do some big shosha to show, that you need to prove your love or be romantic. I think it's the small things that happen organically that you don't think about, that just happen. Those are the sweetest things.
Sonakshi, what about you? Something really sweet and romantic you've done for somebody?
Sorry, I need to really think back.
That long back.
I can't remember. I can't.
Really? Yeah. Or someone's done for you.
How long back is this? This gesture that you did?
Let's not go there.
There's something about Ranveer we don't know.
You don't know? What you don't know, probably even I wouldn't know.
No, come on, you work with him. Sure, you know more than us.
You know the stuff, like he's quite hyper.
Okay, Ranveer, what about you?
Sonakshi has this good girl image.
Yeah.
She's a badmash. Sometimes she's like, when she's overworked and she gets into this delirium, then just vomit comes out. Verbal diarrhea.
That came really.
No, I mean
Yeah, I know.
she'll just say anything. And she loves sipping on things. She has this need to, always have something to sip on. Diet cola or something or the other. Okay, and then in those modes of delirium, she'll be like, she'd crack up herself, and you can't help but crack up. And
Oh my God.
yeah, she's
I think
hilarious.
everybody has their moments when they're tired. I think
See, she works very hard. So very often she gets into these modes of delirium where she'll just say anything. Nonsense.com.
Really, I can't imagine her being that way. She's so composed and calm always.
I have the privilege, to experience this side of Sonakshi. It's a rip roaring.
Wow.
I get scandalized sometimes by the things she says. I have to get up and leave.
He's exaggerating.
That's a bit much, I would
Yeah.
think.
Did I not do it the other day?
He's exaggerating.
Did I not do it the other day? Huh? I got up and left. I was like, I can't
You can't handle
hear
it.
all this. Toba, toba, toba.
What has been the toughest part of this movie?
Of this movie?
Yeah.
This whole movie was really tough
Really?
to do because of the premise that it's in 1950s.
1950s.
Be it right from the set, the production design, the character, the looks, the costume, the hair and makeup, everything has just been different. We don't know anything about it right now.
Right, yeah.
Whatever they've seen in pictures and books and stories and stuff like that. But to recreate that and do it so well, I think that's been a real big task, and Vikram's done it extremely well.
Ranveer, what about you?
For me, though, it's been really difficult from the get-go on every
Your
count.
back and everything else
Yeah,
put together. Yeah.
I think yes, the conditions that we were shooting in were very harsh. It's one thing that it's a real task for the unit to shoot in those kind of conditions. You do it for the sake of the beauty of the film, and you really appreciate that the unit puts in so much to make it happen. But from a performer's point of view, it's equally difficult to perform in that kind of environment. To emote when it's freezing cold is not easy. Okay, so that's one aspect of it. Then, just delving into the kind of personal depth that you haven't before, to bring out an emotion or to play an emotion, that was difficult. I hadn't reached so far into myself before that, and that was really tough. And then to play, for me particularly, to play a brooding, reticent, reclusive
So like your real self too.
character. Yeah, I had to really, reinvent and,
I remember
work on it.
a secret that probably you wouldn't know about.
Okay.
He left.
really thinking?
He stopped having coffee for this film.
Why?
Because
Gets
coffee
you
just
wired
wires you
up.
up. And I'd be like, oh, relax.
But that's tough to give up because if you have a
give up
coffee
for-
addiction, that's
So
tough.
he gave up. He gave up
I'm a
coffee.
big caffeine junkie, but I gave it up for a year and a half.
Wow. I know you're back.
I was on green tea.
Oh my God, so cool.
Yeah, so it was a tough film on many counts for me.
Both of you have been around for a while now. Do you still feel competitive, Sonakshi, when you see other girls doing different films? Do you see, okay, I wish I'd done this movie? Do you feel any of that?
No, I've never been a person who really wishes she had done something
Right.
that I'm not doing. I've always been a very content person.
In my memory of having worked with her for like over a year,
Yeah.
I don't think she's ever even spoken about anybody else. She's she's cool with
This is
whatever.
lovely thing about you, I must say.
No, I mean, it's the
I'm a
truth.
lovely person.
We can see.
Hey, even I.
Okay, I'll say.
But
You'll
yeah,
get
I
your
can vouch
chance.
for that. She doesn't talk about anything, anybody else. She's not bothered, man. She's just doing her thing.
But you don't feel the pressure to be a certain kind because, you always define an actress by a certain thing and you've never done that really.
Not anymore. Not
Yeah.
anymore. I think we've moved beyond that, and I think I've come to the industry at a very right time.
Correct.
I would be worried if I was sitting at home without any work. Yes, then that's when I would be worried about it. But I'm not.
It's far from that.
Yeah, it's far from that. So I'm happy with the way I'm like I said, I'm a content person. I'm happy with the way I work. I'm happy with the way I look. I'm happy with the way things are going for me right now. I have no reason to complain.
Ranveer, what about you? Do you feel competitive?
No.
No. What when you're working with someone like Arjun Kapoor, who is probably the same stage of his career as you are?
It's not. It doesn't help a scene or a film if you're trying to be one up on each other. You're trying to collaborate to make for a certain effect.
Right.
If you're going to try and do this one-upmanship, it's going to show. So you have to be a generous co-actor. Would you say I'm supportive, generous?
Yeah, he's very generous as a co-actor because even when the camera is not facing him, I'm being
I have
nice.
to say something nice about you.
Let's see what she's gonna say now.
I wasn't even going to say that. You only started laughing. I was being serious and saying that even though the camera is not facing him, he gives his entire performance. Like he won't drop it even that much, which is really
But
nice.
competitive with thanks, sir. Thanks. First time, all day. The whole campaign is the first good
No,
thing she
before
said
this
about
I
me.
said he's a very good actor.
I think she does all this off camera.
No, I don't compliment so easily now.
Really?
So,
So you're like the hard to please kinds? Who do you think she makes the best pair with?
Me.
You say that for every heroine.
Quick, yeah.
Dipika make a good pair with me.
Which way?
मतलब हम सब
Let me
तुम्हारे लिए बैठे हैं.
Max, I'll say Arjun Kapoor. Max.
I like that answer.
Max.
चलो, good.
So
Thank
actually,
you.
what about you? Who do you think he looks the best with on screen?
I think he looked really good with Dipika.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. From that poster of Ramleela that I saw, they look really nice together.
Oh, that looks fab, really.
Thank you.
Really. Are you the kinds who watches the first day, first show of all the movies?
I used to. Not anymore, but my parents, yes, they go. My dad goes to Getty Galaxy.
Really?
On the first day to watch my films.
Wow.
That's damn sweet.
My dad, my mom.
How does he manage to? I mean,
They take like
Imagine what an experience that would be.
They take like some 20 relatives. Yeah, and they go and they sit and they see the audience and they get very happy when people clap and whistle and all. Like,
They do. What a that's like the best experience ever.
Yeah.
I think my favorite one was in Ladies vs. Ricky Bell when I come out of the water shirtless and there's all the females just shift in the audience. That was my favorite.
Thanks so much for being on our show. It was great talking to you all and I hope it's a super success. Thanks, Ranveer. Thanks so much.
Thank you.